Alright, last round against Stacks. Let's see if we can break even. I was pretty confident coming into this challenge. I think the deck is pretty good, and the metagame, I expected a lot of Maverick, a lot of Death and Taxes, a lot of Delver, or a little bit of Delver, and then a little bit of Unfair, and like a good amount of like Snow, maybe some Depths, and I felt comfortable in all of those matchups, and it just did not swing my way. Okay, well, I think I want Brainstorm for sure. And the Punishing Fire is potentially great. Okay, well, against a Wasteland deck, the Punishing Fire is probably good, and so is the Deluge. I'm just going to play a land here. I don't need to... like, play into... Oh. Yeah, this is probably very, very good for me. Depending on how many more Wastelands they have, I guess. But if they just play like a Stoneforge Mystic here, I think they're pretty dead. Thalia is like mildly annoying. I'll take a couple damage here. Yeah, I was actually expecting a lot of Death and Taxes. There are a lot of people that qualified for this tournament with Death and Taxes, and Death and Taxes was worse over the last year than it has been in a long time, so I was a little surprised. And so they'll probably tap down a thing here. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to play Punishing Fire during their turn. I want to keep their board clean, and then I'll play Oko. They're strongly incentivized to just sort of keep this Caracas up. They're in really rough, a really rough spot right now. Yeah, this matchup is one that is just so heavily in your favor. Like, if your meta is full of Death and Taxes and basically fair non-blue, this deck will just smash them with a little bit of practice. It's very, very favorable. It's also good against fair blue. A little worse against Delver than fair blue. But Delver's still fine. You just have to play smart. I don't think I played especially smart in round 1 today. Or really even round 4. I could have played much better than I did. What do we got? That's totally fine. So here, I don't want to use my fetch, so what I'm going to do is tap this for green, use the red mana from a Volcanic, and cast Oko in that way. well, that changed. I now want to fetch, so let's take Thalia, and I want another blue, and I think I want another black actually. So we're still gonna make that same play. So here, they're kind of, yeah, they're still in a very rough spot, right? They can play like the Revoker if they want, and then it'll get Punishing Fired, and we'll keep doing Oko things. They could play a sword that was an unknown, so that doesn't change anything. Let's brainstorm here. Actually, this force is probably going to be pretty good. Because I would really prefer that they not be able to equip that sword. So I'll probably force a sword if they play one. We'll see. That's a no. Okay. Oh, pardon me. I think I'm going to turn their vial into a creature here. And then deluge everything away. I'll get in points first, I guess, if that's the play. Yeah. If they play the sword, I'll force it. I guess I could have snapped Thoughtseize their sword there. I don't know. This is all. It's a little. I've been playing this one a little loose. Oh, interesting. There goes the Grove. So their hand is still Revoker, Revoker Sword, XX. Oh, pardon me again. I don't know why. I'm so yawny. I am at 11. That's something to be aware of. Interesting. Sorry about that. Plague Engineer's nice. Kinda wanna just draw the land first though. And we'll just keep writing Oko for now. Sure. Yes. So even if they equip the sword here, that's pretty okay. I mean, it's pretty easy to just elk it and then deluge everything away, if that's what I want to do. I feel like I am under a very, very small amount of pressure to do really anything. I'm just keeping my resources because I don't want to get killed by, like, I don't know, random nonsense. Thalia, okay. Sure. Yep. So their hand is still Revoker Sword. I can get a little bit more out of the spells in my hand. The next card's another Punishing Fire, which I don't think I want, so I'll probably shuffle here. That's fine. Like, playing just one of those doesn't actually do a ton, I don't think. Because I can just Punishing Fire it. Interesting that they did not type me off green. Let's make a food token. Okay, now the Plague Engineer slash Deluge is going to get plenty of value. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This Deluge is going to be sick. Yes, so because of the texture of this game, we've been basically just sitting behind an Oko with a pile of removal, which has to be so frustrating to play against. I imagine my opponent is not having that much fun. Yeah, there's the concession. Let's see, so in this matchup, don't really care about Thought Seizes, don't really like Drown in the Loch that much either, and yeah, so we'll cut these and we'll bring in these, I think. Scavenging Ooze and Tracker are fine, but Notion Thief is good against Palace Jailer, and Leo is good against Port and stuff. These cards are just... Thoughtseize is too tempo negative, and Drown in the Loch is too hard to cast early reliably. So those are my cuts. Man, this deck has so many 3s post board in this matchup. It's crazy. Well, this hand has Toxic Deluge and Force of Will. This hand is quite good. So the reason you want Force of Will, the reason I keep all of the Force of Wills in this matchup is because there are like 3 or 4 cards that can win the game when they come down. Cataclysm, Palace Jailer, and Gideon. And if they don't have, and if you can counter those, then they have very few realistic ways of winning the game. So that's my my strategy here. I'm probably just gonna like ramp them a little bit, give them the trophy, or rather give them the basic off their vial, depending on what they do here. Okay, so they'll probably port this. Ooh. I still probably have to just go after the vial, but that would be cool. Yeah, let's get Underground Sea here and trophy the vial. If they have to actually spend their mana on spells, we're in much better shape. Even though we're giving them an extra mana, this would give them 2-3 mana a turn. Stoneforge Mystic is fine. Sword of Fire and Ice. Sure. So I might have to play this Force Will as a tempo spell here, depending on what they do. Which is unfortunate, but we'll see what they do. It's possible that I'm just able to cast Assassin's Trophy or something on my upkeep. If they just play a sword, then I can steal it, potentially. Mirren Crusader. Huh. It's moderately annoying. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just trophy the port. Oh, well, maybe not. We'll see. I might... okay. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just Deluge, even though it's kind of lame using that as a 1-for-1. I don't think I want to. That's totally fine. So here they might spend a lot of extra mana on their turn. It's fine. And then we can trophy this thing. If they go like sword equip, then we can trophy this and get on the other side with the Dack Fayden. If they play... Ooh, interesting. If they don't do anything here, I'll probably trophy their port so they can't cut me off red anymore. And I'll probably place Snapcaster. I don't know what they could have here, but yeah, if they go sword equip, then I have the really easy move of like blowing up their Flicker Wisp and then stealing the sword. Here, I'm still probably just going to end up blowing up their Flicker Wisp and then playing Dack. That's fine. If they name 2, then I can just Deluge. And it's almost certainly correct to name 2. You know, this game is uncharacteristically slow. So is the first game, actually. Usually, like, there's a lot more trading of resources that goes on, but for whatever reason, it hasn't really been that way this in these games. Let's Deluge. This time we get an actual 2-for-1. So they've got Sword of Fire and Ice and some unknowns in hand. Wonder if they have like removal spells or what. Sure. Yep. Trophy that. This is the play that we were waiting for them to make. Because now we get to steal the sword. And we even have force to protect our Snapcaster from Plow. Yeah, they'll actually be behind if they Cataclysm when we have a creature equipped with sword, so. And to continue playing around Cataclysm, I'm not going to play this land. Yeah, not going to play the lands. What do you hit here? They vote for Dak, okay. Ooh, yeah, that's good. That's very good. Let's name human and equip the sword. He's used 2 Flicker Wisps already, so they only have 1 more. Stoneforge, okay. They have Batterskull, I guess, that they can go get and cast it. That's moderately annoying. We would like to draw a Brainstorm. Yeah, it's possible that like I said, that the reason I keep forces is for Palace Jailer, Council's Judgment, and sometimes Gideon. So it was a little greedy, I think, forcing the Revoker, but I thought that the play, it negated Cataclysm well enough, so I didn't feel too bad about it. So we're going to fetch here. They're going to gain life, so that'll trigger our Punishing Fire, and we can get it back. Unfortunately, this cannot get a red source. And there's why it's unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, it's not worth countering. Brainstorm, another Snapcaster. These would be ideal draws. Swamp does not do it. Oh wow, that was unfortunate. I could have held on to the Force. I probably should have held on to the Force. Like, either they name Dak and we get him with Oko, or they name Oko and we get him with Dak. So yeah, it was probably just a misplay on my part there. I got a little too greedy. Didn't play around Jailer. Did play around Cataclysm though, to an extent. This is fine. We have Forces and Deluge again. Gonna get basic Island here because I want to cantrip probably at least twice. So I might not even cantrip on 1. I might wait until 2. No, that's wrong, because if I need to shuffle, if it's not in the top 4, then I'm like really bad shape. So this way I get to have 2 chances to hit. Okay, great. We want the lands. We don't really want another Force of Will. I'm gonna let that go. It's maybe greedy, but it's fine. The fact that they played it off a port is Maybe I should have force pitched Snapcaster, I don't know. Or I could have gone force pitch force and just drawn the force as well. Yeah. This deck is hard. There's a lot of decisions to make. And it's not always obvious what the correct one is. In fact, it's rarely obvious what the correct one is to me. Okay. I'm gonna brainstorm here. Yeah. We are going to play this Pernicious Deed and try to eat up their mana. Really hoping they don't have a Revoker. Wow, did not get Wastelanded there. Very surprising. Pardon me. No surprise there. Yeah, there's the Revoker. Unfortunate. We might be able to ambush Viper it, though. If we can unlock Deed, then they're in pretty bad shape. Land would be really great. No such luck. That's not a colored source. Do they have a Flicker Wisp? Looks like the answer is maybe. Okay. Yeah, if we can draw land to cast the Deluge, we'll be in pretty reasonable shape, I think. Yeah, these forces are rotting. Thalia, that would be pretty bad. Okay, so now we need to find 2 lands. Oh, maybe 3. Oh. Huh. Yeah. Suppose we let that go. Man. Losing this matchup. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's nothing on the line in this matchup except for maybe a little bit of pride. But I already had such a terrible tournament that, you know, there's nothing really to lose here. Sure. Oh boy. So how many turns do we have left? Three draw steps to find some lands. Assuming they have actual nothing. Yep. I could have forced the surgical, but like I don't know that it's worth it. Alright, I think that actually puts me to dead on board. That's unfortunate. Alright, yeah, well, we completely whiffed on lands for too many turns, and we died because of it. Very unfortunate. Anyway, that's it for this. Hope you enjoyed and learned something, and I will see you for some later videos.